Hello and welcome to my channel. So, Big Brother Naija season 7 is around the corner. The portal for audition just opened today, May 15th, 2022. So, I thought it wise to share some tips I think you'll be needing if you intend to apply for the show, because usually once you apply for the show in 2 weeks time you're going to receive your email, the first email. That is, if you're among the selected, you're going to receive your first email in 2 weeks time. So I want to share some tips I think you'll be needing in the house, like during the audition process, in the house, and after the house. You'll be needing these tips. First things first, when you're auditioning for Big Brother Naija, please be honest. I'm not saying you should, like, you just need to be honest. You don't need to lie, because to start with, there are people who know you, and if you, like, for example, now you go to BB Naija and say, oh, I'm single, I'm not a married person, and let's say you're married. Of course, there are people who know you have a relationship. They are going to post your pictures, and it can also affect your time in the house. People can get offended. Oh, why did he lie? Why did she lie? I just want you to know that if people would like you, they will like you. Look at example. We had Mike in the Pepper Dem season. He was married. He didn't hide it, and people liked him. We had D1 in the Double Wahala season. He was married. He hid it. Although no one ever spoke about it publicly, but the fact that he was very uptight got people upset. Then we had a Nii the last season, Shine Your Eyes. Well, he was married, he didn't hide it, but people thought he was uptight and they didn't enjoy him. So it really depends on you. I don't believe you don't need to lie about your relationship status, in my opinion, especially if you are married. You need to come out plain and say, okay, I am married. If you're divorced, fine. Don't be like Tega, who went into the house a separated woman and lied she was married, and then when she got into an entanglement with Boma, it kind of affected the way people saw her, because Nigerians are obsessed with marriage. Africans are obsessed with marriage, be it for a woman or a man, because seeing Tall Tony until today, people still throw jabs at him. Just his savior is that he's on the quiet side, but trust me, if he ever has an opinion over a trending topic, people are going to remind him that he lied, that he wasn't married during his time. That's 2017, right? Yeah, that's Tegobe. Bisola Sets, the season which Efe won. Okay, that being said, and then another thing you need to do is delete controversial tweets from your handle. What did I say? Delete controversial tweets and opinions from your handle. People are very sensitive. If you're a rape apologist, I pity you. It's either you just deactivate that account completely, because while filling the form, there's actually a section where you need to put in your social media handles. So my advice to you is this: you either just deactivate that account, open a fresh account. In that column, you put that one. But then, this is the thing: it can also affect you, because sometimes these people go through your social media to know how much of a fun person you are, to know your personality. They go through your social media for that. So if they go to through your social media now, and they realize that you have just is a new account you opened today, it's also a problem. So my advice is delete everything about, like, or if you're the type that have trolled a past housemate, said nasty things about them, my advice is for you to delete it immediately. You need to delete it. You need a clean slate, because you get into the house on day one and people will be arguing, she insulted White Money, hey, she insulted Nico Rose, she insulted Erica, she insulted Lekon. And before you know, some people are very saying, they'll be like, no, I'm not going to stand her. I beg, I don't stand people like this. And that is how your chances will get ruined. Then another thing I'll say is, what's your past like? Be very careful, because I remember the first day Cross got into the house, there were talks about how Cross used to spike girls' drinks in Abuja. I believe that was what ruined Cross's chances of winning, because people were offended, and then his team did not put out a statement immediately debunking that news. So it kind of had an effect on the way people saw him in the house. It was much later. By then, you know how Big Brother Nigeria fan bases work. Most of them pick who they like by week 1 or 2. And by week 3, whatever you're doing, people can only vote for you when their faves are not up. You understand? So My advice is, what is your past like? You see all those DMs you've been sending on Instagram, blah blah blah, all those nonsense DMs, unsend them immediately. Oh, unsend them. That's one thing I'm going to tell you. Another thing I'm going to tell you. Then you also need to send them. You don't need to announce. Of course, you're going to be told by the time you start. There are various stages, about 5 to 6, 7 stages through the audition. They're going to tell you secrecy is key. Once they hear rumors that, oh, this person is going to be on the show, that person is going to be on the show, they are going to drop you. Because, and another thing, why I won't even advise you to tell so many people is because sometimes they can even drop you on the D-Day, like before the live show. It has happened in the past. And because even as at the D-Day, they have like 40 housemates all dressed up, all glammed up, and they're going to be choosing only 22. So you can be unfortunate, they will not pick you. And imagine when you've already bragged to people, oh, I'm going for Big Brother, it will not be like you're a Jonesa. They will just give you 200k and tell you thanks for coming. So that is it. Then another thing I want to tell you is this, when you get into the house, don't be like Jackie B. Oh, my son is watching. Oh, my son is watching. And then don't be that way. If you know you're so obsessed with your child or your son, the show is rated 18. So I feel like if you're very, uptight, you're going to be a bore, people will find you boring, and they're going to kick you out on the first nomination. Okay, now there's another thing I want to tell you. When you're in the house, just know that you are playing 2 games, in the house and outside the house. The game in the house is you're playing for your housemates to like you, which in my opinion is not necessary. You should even be focused on the outside world because they are the decision makers. For the housemates, their own case, it's okay for you to be very good to them, not like be okay with them, have a good relationship with them, fine. I'm not saying you should quarrel with them or you should fall out with them. What I'm saying is this: for these housemates, a whole lot of them, there's something. For example, let me use Jackie B for example. Jackie B had this issue. She was loved in the house. The housemates loved her. They loved her so much. She didn't have issues with a whole lot of them. She was never up until she became head of house. And then they kind of realized, Jackie has never been up. And the first time she was nominated, Jackie left. And that's because the outside world did not fancy her. They didn't like her. So what I'm just trying to say is that once you get into the house, just have it at the back of your mind that whatever I'm doing in the house, I also need to appeal to the audience. I'm not saying you should shrink or do things don't be extra. If you're extra, people will know and kick you out. Be yourself, but then you can't completely be yourself if you are being honest, because now you're in a controlled environment. There are rules and regulations you must stick to. You understand? And another thing I'll tell you, if you're a girl, don't go there and start screaming, I don't like girls. Women are their worst enemies. Once you say that, be rest assured that you will never win the show. That is all I want to tell you. You may get to the finale, that's not a problem, but you will not win the show. So if you're the type of person, you have an issue with girls, congratulations, happy birthday. Keep it to yourself. We don't need to know that part of you. And you must try very hard to relate with the ladies in the house. It is very important. Viewers love cis-mass. Viewers love healthy feminine relationships and also bestship, maybe with men too, So, okay, just like Messi so far is the only female winner. She's the only woman who has won the show. And guess what? Messi was loved because she was a girl's girl. She had a relationship, but she mingled with others. Her stay in the house wasn't all about her relationship. She wasn't so possessive or, let's say, protective of Ike. She wasn't best of friends with Tacha, but she was never bothered with about the relationship Ike had with Tacha. It never bothered her at all. So if you're going into the house, one thing I want to tell you is you just have to know that if you see all those ships in the house that will, even as they are leaving the house now, so you go scatter, enemies everywhere. Even most of them don't even talk till after like 3 to 4 years. They will just decide, okay, what's this thing we're dragging for? Let's be at peace. That is it. So that is why, in my opinion, if you fall in love in the house, I know